Right, so behind me is my 1983 Land Rover 110. Now when they released the new Land Rover Defender, I wasn't really sure if they were answering the right questions. So for a lifetime, the stalwart of the British aristocracy has been Land Rover. Our recently departed beloved Queen loved them, as did her husband, as we probably all saw at the state funeral. Prince Philip had a Land Rover to bear his coffin. Across estates all through England, Scotland, Wales, we will see Land Rovers. They're ubiquitous. The beauty of them is they ooze class, but they also say nothing about one's class. Obviously, they stopped making them back in 2016. And to be fair, they needed to, because it was an out-of-date design. I mean, I love them. I still drive them, but you can't really argue about the fact that the design was out of date. But when they did launch the new 90 and 110, I could see that it wasn't answering the question that needed to be fixed. They were quite simply just not big enough. So what do? Well, enter the 130. Now, the size difference between a 110 and a 130 is not huge, but that extra row of seats is what's really going to make the difference to the practicality. For many years, Range Rovers have been the vehicle of choice for aristocratic landowners. I know what you're going to say. What about the Rolls-Royce Cullinan or the Bentley Bentayga? You know, these are brilliant cars. And then how about, of course, the Mercedes G-Wagon if you really do want to look like a drug dealer? Well, as I say, yes, they're all great cars. But realistically, are they cars that you're going to jump in your muddy tweeds, throw your spaniels in the back, and head out shooting? The only one that you can do that in, really, is a Range Rover. Problem of late is the Range Rover is getting more road biased. But that's definitely not an accusation that you can hurl at the new Defender. Because even though it is comfortable and confident on the road, this is genuinely a vehicle that can go anywhere at all. Now, to me, the Land Rover 130 is going to be the model. I don't know if they're going to be able to make them fast enough. I don't know if they're going to have enough of them on the UK roads to meet demand. I think it's very unlikely, to be honest. But I really think that is the vehicle that is going to just skyrocket in popularity. I tell you what, if you can afford to, put your deposits down, buy a load of them right now, because I think in a year's time, once they're out and on the street, they'll be worth even more. That extra space, that extra row of seats is exactly what the country set has been looking for. Range Rovers, they've just added another set of seats into the back of the latest model, but it's not a comfortable set. It's not a realistic set that can be used regularly. It's an occasional, more like a child seat in the back. You know, I've always loved the layout of things like the Escalade and stuff with the extra space. They're much too big for British roads. They're also very flashy and very showy, which is not going to be popular with the sort of British aristocracy. Land Rover is subtle. I mean, it's very expensive, but it's also very subtle. It doesn't shout. It sort of whispers its luxury. It still feels like something that might be utilitarian. Extra space in the back, whether it be used as a row of seats, whether it be folded flat to stick your dogs in, whichever is going to be very popular. I think we're going to see a lot of these vehicles for chauffeuring. I think we're going to see a lot of these vehicles for shooting estates and things like that. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these vehicles for security services and the likes. So Land Rover basically have this segment of the market to themselves, certainly within the UK anyway. a true off-roader that can seat 8 in comfort, take you up a mountain and bring you back. It's washable, it's perfect. Thanks very much. So that is my, it's not so much a review because I've not had a chance to drive it yet, but that's my prediction about how much a big deal this Land Rover 130 is going to be. Of course, you might not agree with me. So if you think there's a better vehicle for this job, or if you think that the 130 will not be successful, leave your comments below and tell me what you think.